So what we're going to look at in this video is one of the most important features of the Agent 360 platform, and that is the Insights tab, because this is where all the data is that you've been gathering about who's been looking at what tours, how often, what properties, and that kind of thing. So when you click on the Insights tab, this is the overview page that you actually see, and as we can see, we've got the Viewing Insights automatically selected with the agent accompanied visits. So these are the visits where you have actually been on a tour with somebody else and you've been asking questions and that kind of thing. We've got a list of properties. We've also got the invitees as well, so who actually visited them and which properties have been looked at. We've also got unaccompanied visits. So these are all the visits where people have actually clicked on the link in Rightmove, Zoopla, your website, that kind of thing, and these are all the people who have been looking at your properties and have entered their details. We've also got the visitor insights. So for instance, we've got a list of all the people who have actually entered their name and email address into a tour, and they're actually on the system now, which means that you can actually see an overview of all the properties which they have been looking at. So for instance, if we have a look at Tallulah Smith, we can see that Tallulah started off her journey with an unaccompanied visit. She came from LinkedIn, so you can actually see the source of where they came from, so you can actually track the performance of your campaigns, that kind of thing. So if you've got campaigns on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of thing, you can see where people have been coming from, so you can actually gauge the effectiveness of those particular campaigns. So they've come from LinkedIn, they've had a look at Hawthorne House, then they've registered their details, they've had another look at Hawthorne House, they've scheduled a viewing, they've requested a virtual viewing, and you can see all the other things that that person has actually done over that time. And then you can see that they've also had a look at Trafford Wharf, Bings Place, and they've also requested certain viewings as well. So you can get a full feel for exactly what that person's been looking at. And then if we look at our Spaces Insight, this is where we can actually see who's been looking at what properties. If we look at Hawthorne House, we can see that Hawthorne House has had 28 visits. We've got 12 unique visitors, 10 registrations, all that kind of wonderful information that you actually want to hand over to your sales team, that kind of thing. And then if we look at our registration insights, this is where you actually get a overview of who's been registering with your virtual tours. So because I only use delayed registration, then we don't actually have any data for the immediate and no registration details, but we can see that we've actually got total of 57 delayed registrations, with 12 actually actually took part. One of them actually contacted an agent. We've also had 18 virtual visits and 4 physical viewings as well based off those registrations, and total number of contacts is 16. And the final one is the insights from the sources. And this is one of the crucial points where if you're running multiple campaigns on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of thing, then what you want to do is you want to know exactly how effective those campaigns are. So you want to know where people are coming from in order to actually get to those properties. And you can base your future campaigns based on the effectiveness which is given to you in these insights. So if LinkedIn isn't actually working for you that well, then maybe you should spend less money on LinkedIn. And if Rightmove is actually giving you the most amount of viewings, then obviously concentrate all your efforts on Rightmove, that kind of thing. But this is where you can actually find out exactly how many people are coming from what different platforms in order to actually get to your tours, and you can measure how effective your campaigns are.